And the winner is Christina Texera.
Program Director, esteemed dignitaries, President of the BWA, Captains of Commerce and Industry, members of media, with all protocol observed, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My thanks to the sponsors of this evening, Telkom and IBV, and a special note of gratitude to the BWA, its president, its board, judges, and organizers. I would also like to acknowledge the women with whom I've had the privilege to share this experience over the last couple of months. Zine, Tandi, Alma, and Shawneen. What a wonderful experience for me to meet you all. Alma, within 5 minutes of meeting you, I was conscious that I had met a leader with a substantial heart. Tandi, you are demonstrating to men and women alike in construction just exactly how it should be done, and I congratulate you on your award. I wish to acknowledge and thank my family, with specific reference to my mother, my father, who is not here with us, husband and sister, my friends, my team who have joined me tonight. Know that each invite was not by chance, but by specific design. For each one of you individually inspire me. I continue to learn from you, and I respect each one of you. I would like to convey 2 messages this evening, namely, the significance of this award and what I'll be doing with it, and how this award can assist to shape my passion for South Africa and the rest of the African continent. As you're aware, I operate within the construction and infrastructure sector, traditionally associated with male dominance, yes, and a tough trading environment. It's one where some men and women alike have expressed that maybe it's no place for a woman, or at least maybe not the best place for a woman. It's one that even in a company like Group 5, which I deem quite progressive for the sector, our women represent only 18% of the employee base. So what will I do with the platforms provided to me in the year ahead? I plan to promote awareness of the diverse range of roles and opportunities available to women, motivate why there need not be any limitation for women in this sector or in our country, a country which is still to appoint its first female president. As an aside, I personally grew up in a fiercely traditional and conservative Portuguese home, where culturally, at the time, few women pursued tertiary education or considered non-traditional employment. Yet one aspect that both my parents instilled in me is that my gender should never limit me, and I grew up not perceiving that it could be any different. One aspect that I will use the year ahead for is to communicate to women what they will not do. They will not or should not ever give up on their vision or believe they cannot. Again, I remember in grade 9, deciding I could no longer continue with higher grade science, and I was going to drop to standard grade. My principal, who's with me today, promptly told me that under no circumstances would this change take place. And standing before you now, I am so grateful for her strength and direction, which helped shape where I am today. Something seemingly immaterial to her at the time had a profound impact on my life, and this I know I can do for others and pay it forward. But why is the infrastructure sector important? Well, because construction and infrastructure is seen to be a provider of employment and fundamental to an economy. So there's capacity for us to reduce unemployment, especially if we address the country's national development plan, which is an extremely good template for infrastructure development. But beyond the sector, as a society, we need to address the general misconceptions that knowledge only comes with age, that support disciplines like finance should only deal with the retrospective management of the group's affairs and not decision-making, that support disciplines like finance can't know or understand operations, and that a woman could never understand operations. I am testament to the fact that age, gender, or discipline should never be the reason why a woman should feel unable to contribute. And that the most successful business environment is one where diversity is embraced and encouraged. One more reason why this award is important, Because I've learned through this experience that although, firstly, it is not my comfort zone to stand before you and discuss my successes, and secondly, knowing that I'm only somewhat through my journey in terms of what I want to achieve. Using the words of the BWA, my legacy is not complete. I've only begun to blaze the trail, but I appreciate that celebrating my success, I may motivate others, and this is why this award is important to me. The year ahead will allow me to communicate that as women, we are responsible for being ambassadors for South Africa, on the continent and internationally, to broaden awareness of what has been achieved by women in our country, and specifically to encourage change in other African states which may be less gender transformed or where oppression and/or gender bias may still exist. We are responsible to assist with the transformation needs and gender imbalance within the workplace at all levels of business, by identifying needs and opportunities of the African woman and providing avenues or forums to resolve these needs or enhance these opportunities. In short, we are responsible for promoting the African businesswoman. In closing, many years ago, I was told by a colleague that I reminded her of Amelia Earhart. To be truthful, at the time, I had no idea who that was. My curiosity to find out more about Miss Earhart and how we could be compared started my fascination with this inspiring woman. Now, as you all know, she was an American aviation pioneer and the first female pilot to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. Maybe my colleague's comparison was due to the fact that Amelia was known to be a tomboy, as I can be. Or maybe the fact that Earhart refused to don typical flying gear. She wore a suit or a dress instead of traditional outfit, and a close-fitting hat instead of a helmet, didn't put on her goggles until she taxied to the end of the field and removed them immediately upon landing, confirming my view that women can execute and lead in the same manner as men and look good doing it. But humor aside, the Vice President of the US at the time confirmed that she proved that men and women were equal in jobs requiring intelligence, coordination, speed, coolness, and willpower. But my sharing of this story with you this evening is not solely to confirm Ms. Earhart's achievements, but rather to share with you that it is my intention to motivate the young women of Africa that it is possible to be a woman of firsts, a person of firsts, and it is my commitment to be an agent for this change for our future women leaders. In the words of Amelia Earhart, some of us have great runways already built for us. If you have one, take off. But if you don't have one, realize it's your responsibility to grab a shovel, build one for yourself and for those who will follow you. I am humbled by this award. Humbled to follow the truly wonderful woman that came before me, and I thank you.